Welcome to the Phone Arena video review of the LG Lotus Elite. The Lotus Elite is a pretty straightforward upgrade to the original Lotus. As you see, it has the basic same squat design. Flipping it open reveals a full QWERTY keyboard, and you have the same basic key layout. However, there is one very important quirk, and that is that the outside display is now touchscreen. As we slide it open here, we see we have animated wallpapers, which are nice. In a slider drawer similar to the Android drawer, we find we can access messaging, Slideshow, which is our pictures, speed dial, contacts, and history directly from this outside screen. We also have an option to turn these on and off. What that means is as we close it, we can flick through these. With all of them activated, we have 6 panels. If we turn them off, obviously we will have less. It is not a cube like the touch flow we originally saw back on the HTC Touch, but the animations are at least very similar. There's actually a lot of useful things you can do out here, such as access your contacts, view picture slideshows, and check your messages. You can call a contact from almost any tab, except for, of course, the slideshow. Flipping the phone open, as we mentioned, reveals the full QWERTY keyboard. It's been reworked since last time around. We now have the directional cluster up front, pretty much the same as before, but in between that and the keypad, we have a social key, an email key, and a text key. All 3 of these keys give direct one-click access to their respective functions. However, it can only be used when we're on the home screen. If we're in any menu or in an application itself, it does not kick us out. The social key gives us the option of going to the Facebook, MySpace, Twitter tiles. Email opens the Sprint mobile email program, and the text key obviously goes to your text messaging. The interface for the Lotus Elite is very familiar. It runs the same one-click that we've seen on many other Sprint devices at this point, and there's no real quirks to it. The user can choose from up to 15 tiles to have on their carousel. Some of these, like we're scrolling through now, are simple things like messaging or shortcuts, while others, like MySpace, Yahoo, Twitter, and Facebook, play more to the web. We can also launch a navigation session or do a Google search from the home screen. There are tabs from the likes of ESPN, CNN, and other news outlets that delivers content directly to your screen. And on this home tile, you can set up bubbles, which will give you weather and news headlines. The main menu itself is again very similar. We have the familiar 12-icon layout, and nothing has really changed. The camera interface is very bare bones. As you can see, the 2-megapixel camera is on the hinge, and actually, as you twist the phone, it goes with you. We rather like this feature, as the touchscreen on the outside is a useful viewfinder, and for self-shots, we can quickly open it and get a good look at ourselves. The QWERTY keyboard is basically the same as last time around. Instead of a dedicated text key on the keyboard, we now have a smiley. But other than that, it's basically the same. It's not quite as raised as before. However, it still works just as well as the original Lotus, which we liked quite fine. We had no problems quickly tapping out messages. Like the original Lotus, the Lotus Elite feels kind of awkward in the hand due to its squat nature. It's a little bit wide, especially for the female demographic it'll no doubt be targeting. Still, two-handed use with the QWERTY is extremely comfortable, and we can see where LG is getting its design. For those who are using Bluetooth headsets, it will not be as big of an issue. Overall, the feel is a lot better than the original Lotus. The original Lotus was by no means cheap, but with an extra ounce plus added to the Lotus Elite and some metal housing, the Elite feels very solid and well constructed. Currently, it's available in the red hue we see here with the floral pattern. We expect to see a black version here in the near future, which we would expect to see appeal more towards the male demographic. All in all, the Lotus Elite is a very fine refresh to the original Lotus. It keeps all the features that we liked, such as a good QWERTY keypad, excellent call quality, and good battery life, and added a surprisingly useful touchscreen on the outside. Touchscreens are definitely the rage nowadays, and we were worried that this would be very gimmicky. Instead, we are happy to find that we were able to use many of the features. The only thing we would have liked to seen is more access on the outside. For instance, if we open the music player here, we can actually control the music from the outside. This is a really nice feature, and the same can be done with the TV service. If they would just add those features to the outside so we can launch them, it would be almost a great hit. The one drawback to the Lotus Elite right now is its price tag. At $100, it's the same price as the vastly more capable Palm Pixie, and other devices, such as the Samsung Reclaim, come in at half the price. You can even pick up the Samsung Instinct S30 right now at just $50, which is still a much better device than the Lotus Elite. Nothing against the Lotus, but until it gets a price drop, we think that it's not going to compete as well as it should.